Okay, so here we are at Adam Street, and I have got the lovely Paula Rosdol, who we've just had lunch with and brainstormed a brand new workshop that I think we might be doing together in September about where do all the good men hang out. But I had been asking Paula today about this thing around internet dating profiles, because I was ranting today about this idea that we've got to sexualize ourselves on our internet profiles. It was driving me a little bit nuts. So I wanted to ask Paula's advice, so I'm just going to pass you over to Paula now. Here we go. Paula, how do we create a kind of attractive internet profile that attracts men but without having to getting our jugs out, as it were?
Well, I believe internet profiles are all about being enticing but being real. So when I say enticing, think of anything that makes you interesting or different from other people out there. For example, I have a client, she loves to race around in Aston Martins. She's a doctor, kind of unusual. I have other clients who take unusual trekking vacations to India and other places. So think about what's interesting about you that the man that you'd like to attract would find enticing. And also to be real. Keep it light, keep it interesting, don't put on airs, don't do flaky things describing yourself as a fizzy cocktail or whatever.
No, fruit cocktail.
Fruit cocktail. Because I believe that real men are looking for real women, and if you want to avoid attracting people who are posers or players, just, write as you would a real person trying to communicate with another real person who's genuine.
Easier said than done, though, because sometimes you get to the kind of profile and think, oh, how does this actually, how can, I remember you asking when we were coaching together what was the 3 unique things about me, and I just thought, oh, I don't know.
Well, also a great way to do it is sit down with a friend, because many times we don't think about ourselves as being particularly interesting or having hobbies or interests that are enticing. So sit down with a friend and let them ask you some questions. For example, I had a client the other day, and she was a teacher, and it sounded like she lived a pretty normal life, but I just started to ask her questions such as, tell me about the most exciting thing you've done in the past year. And it turns out that she took an exotic trekking vacation in South America. And I learned some other things about her that just having an in-depth conversation didn't necessarily come out immediately.
So maybe some of the questions you can ask before writing a profile are, what are the most exciting things you've done this year?
Yeah, what do you really love? What are you passionate about? If you could go to any place in the world, what would it be? Describe your ideal day to me. If you could create an ideal man with the woman or man you want to meet, what would that day involve? So as you ask questions, it'll lead to more questions. So think about having a conversation with a friend. Buy a friend a cocktail or a glass of beer and have a conversation, take notes, and then go and write your profile from what you get, these interesting snippets.
Oh, I've just had a great idea. What you could do is get a friend to interview you and then write the profile for you, because I think it's much easier for someone else to write the profile.
Yeah, if you can, convince them to do that, you might have to buy them 2 cocktails instead of 1.
Okay.
But actually, that's a great way. But on the other hand, sometimes I tell clients to write their profile themselves, because it really makes you think about what you want to communicate and what's different about you and what's at your essence. So you're creating almost your personal brand or your personal advertising, and that's kind of hard for people to do. But what you can do in getting people's responses, and it's something I did with you, Susie, is to use 5 columns. And the first column is your physical attributes. The second one is your characteristics. The third one, your values. The fourth, your interest. And the fifth, what makes you uniquely different. And go down the list and just put adjectives. And once you've completed your adjectives, share that list with your friends or your family and say to them, pick 2 or 3 that you think best define me. And it'd be interesting to see if how they perceive you is the way that you perceive yourself. And from that, you'll be able to write, or at least have direction on writing your profile.
That is brilliant, Paula. Thank you so much for that advice.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so pleased that we don't have to dress up as a cocktail as well. Okay.